right now. We're gonna call this a Thanksgiving edition with my brothers giving thanks. Law Nation, Akoye Media. What would this be? 1/3 of the round table. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man? What's good, man?
So,
appreciate you having me, man. And you got to do this more. You got to just say it, man.
Yeah.
I'll jump on. I'm always here anyway. I'll jump on whenever you say so, man. It ain't about nothing.
The crazy thing is, you really not. And the crazy thing is, it's amazing having two brothers as strong as y'all in the community. Akoye, you've been smoking Twitter. Law, you don't even know how big you are.
It depends on who you ask. Twitter been smoking me.
Well, you know what?
Whooping my ass.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you because Akoye, I know you got to run in a second. I really want to jump.
I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, these guys need no introduction. They actually brought people to my live stream. That's just what they do. Akoye and Law, I want to jump right into. We'll get into the Commanders, because I got a heavy beat on those guys. But I'm gonna be honest. I want to jump right into Jordan Lewis discourse. Yeah. Yeah, Law's producing. Law's producing, by the way, y'all. So
I got something.
It's an evil world we live in.
Akoye, let me preface this by saying, I am 1000% on the fence with Jordan. So I'm not gonna be fake. I am. So I don't even really want to fight.
Hit me.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight. It's not a fight.
I want you to be the film guy that you are and talk me off the ledge. Because here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys, we attack teams' slots. I just don't want it to get to a point where I'm seeing Jordan getting beat more than he's making plays. So what do you see, Akoye? Like, what do you see?
Well,
because a lot of fans are tired of Jordan.
It doesn't make any sense. I think fans look for the weakest link and then they galvanize around that and they get a little toxic with it. Because if I just did this yesterday, man, I'll do it again right here. Okay. Statistically, you can look at the stats. So I don't even need film. Statistically, Jordan Lewis has given up 247 yards total this season. That's it. That's accounted for, right? For him. 3 touchdowns, right?
Right.
He's been targeted less than, so he's not, they keep saying like he's getting picked on. He's targeted less than top corners like Darius Slay, obviously, for obvious reasons. He's probably following around top competition. Bradbury, those guys, and then I went down the list. Denzel Ward. You can go down the list of these guys, right?
Right.
And then when you look up Jair Alexander, who only played 5 games so far, Jair has already given up 210 yards in 5 games and 2 touchdowns, right? I don't hear anybody saying Jair is playing like a bum because he's not, right? So how Jordan Lewis has better stats than him, right? But he's playing like a bum. It doesn't make any sense. He's only given up 247 yards, which is less than Gilly. It's more than it's 50 yards more than
less than Gilly. That's good.
Less than Gilly. 50 yards more than what Bland has given up. Bland is the only one playing like ridiculous right now. But to stand next for any corner,
pro level,
for any corner right now, Denzel Ward is only he has a 55 QB rating when targeted, right? Denzel Ward. Bland has a 34. Quarterbacks have a 34 QB rating when they target Bland. So that's how good he's playing. He's only given up 1 touchdown this season, and we already know about the pick sixes. So I think he's suffering from Lewis, that is. He's suffering from being connected to and being next to guys like Bland because we're looking at what Bland can do, and it spoils the community because look at these numbers, bro. Last 5 games, last 5 quarterbacks.
5 games.
Okay.
What yards, how many yards did Justin Herbert put up?
It wasn't much. Yeah, no, he didn't go over 300.
Yeah, he didn't go over 300. Then you had Matt Stafford put up 162.
Okay.
Yeah.
We mad because of that 1 touchdown, but did you see what Cooper Kupp did that game?
He was awful. I think 41 yards, something like that.
Who was covering Cooper Kupp?
Jordan Lewis was covering Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so have you seen top corners stop Cooper Kupp on a regular basis?
Not historically. I think he's down this year, but historically.
What about the other one? Puka ain't been down this year.
Nakua.
No. Yeah. And Sean will put his guys in the slot.
Okay. So Puka and Kupp didn't do nothing, right? Then after that game, we played the Eagles, right? Right?
Eagles was not after the Rams. It was
who was next?
It was the I think it was the Eagles, right?
Was it Philly?
Well, either way,
Philly
only put up 207 in the air. That was the first game that AJ Brown didn't get.
That he had the run and all that.
So who is Jordan Lewis on that defense that shut down AJ Brown?
He is.
Okay. He is. He on that defense, right? The only play in that game that people had a problem with him was the Dallas Goedert game. Dallas Goedert play on 4th and 3. That's what everybody mad about. The moment, the weight of that moment carries more than the possessions or the receptions that happened around him, because Gilly gave up a bunch of first downs because we were playing off, and so did Bland, and Bland actually got beat for a touchdown in that game as well. But we're still mad at Lewis, who gave up a first down on 4th and 3. That's all he did. 2 receptions against him in the Eagles game. And let me pull this up so we can look at it.
Yeah, I can share.
I got it.
Yeah, but while you pulling that up, let me just say this right quick. I think that most people are looking at it as if, Lewis is the weakest link in the DB room.
That's not an argument.
That's just reality right there, right?
I think that's what people are thinking about, though.
Right. How can we get better at that spot? Can we get a little bit more of one?
Okay, I will take that.
Can we get somebody else new? I think that, shout out to Vach Lombardi at Sky.
Yeah.
I listened to him, and they said that right now, and this was in the past, Foots and Akoye, that when you get to that anybody but, right?
Yeah.
So right now, I believe collectively, a third of the Cowboy Nation is looking at Jordan Lewis like anybody but Lewis right now. And
that is crazy.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
That's crazy.
Akoye, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you though. To Law's point, fans are torn, and I mean,
torn between what?
I just think that I think he's become this is just objectively now. And I'm not saying that because we got to be honest. In the Carolina game, I went back and watched. I know.
I got the film
went back and watched.
Right now. I watched every reception.
Back and watched.
Every reception.
He did have a drive, but Cooper Kupp really cooked our whole team on that drive. But
you mean
not Cooper Kupp, Thielen, which is really their only weapon. But
Thielen, one drive. But prior to that drive happening, what happened? Let's talk about it.
No, he was locked up.
No. He forced a fumble, and then Sam Williams blocked tried to block a punt.
Yeah.
He went off,
and he kept it going. He kept the play going.
Okay, but on that same drive, he gave up. Jordan Lewis, that is, gave up like 27 yards on that drive. On that one drive, which is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give up a touchdown, and he only gave up 3 receptions to Thielen, right?
Right.
For like 32 yards total altogether.
Right.
Thielen finished the game with 8 receptions for 74 yards. Now, I did this yesterday. I'm gonna show you first. We're gonna look at Jordan Lewis real quick. Look at Jordan Lewis's stats first off. He gave up 233 yards this season so far. He's been targeted 33 times and gave up 19 receptions for a 57% completion rating. Right.
Okay.
They accredit him for 40 yards in the game because of that zone play that was in the middle of the field, but that wasn't on him. But they gave him 40 yards, 4 receptions for 40 yards in the Carolina game, right? 7 yards per target, 12 yards per completion, and he has a 109 rating when targeted for the year, right? For the year. Right. Now, am I going to say that this is all pro numbers? No, he ain't an all pro. Mm-hmm. You know what he is? He's our 4th corner who's coming in and playing at this level, right? And that's ridiculous, right?
Right.
So if this is bad, and I don't got a problem, if y'all saying that it's bad, then y'all got to stay with that standard. Because if this is bad, okay, then it's bad. It can't be bad when he does it, but good when the next man do it. I don't do that. If it's bad, it's bad. So if this is the standard that we're setting at bad, is that the case that we're making? We're making it, this is bad. He's playing bad, right?
Right.
Okay. So now let's look at good then, okay?
Compared to the other contemporaries on his team, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, not his team.
Is Lewis playing? Like, I'm thinking that what they're saying is Lewis playing better than Gilmore? No, right? Is Lewis playing better than he's playing better than Gilmore? Yes. All right. So is Lewis going
to push back on that?
Come on, man. You my dog.
He's not playing better than Gilmore. Come on now.
Okay, come on.
You're a film guy. We're not going to do that.
Yardage wise.
How many PBUs you got? How many bat downs you got? How many? Go ahead.
And yards, targets and yards. He's been targeted more. He's given up, and Gilmore's given up more yards. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he can do on the outside what Gilmore's doing, and he's a touchdown away from where Gilmore is. But everywhere else, statistically, they're similar. So that's why I don't argue about the team because this entire secondary is shutting every quarterback we play down.
They are.
So why would I be mad at anybody on the secondary? Nobody can possibly get cooked on a team where nobody's cooking. Nobody cooks this defense.
True.
How can we say somebody getting cooked when there isn't the stats to show it? Who is cooking? We haven't given up a 100-yard receiver. So
we have that's okay.
So who's cooking?
This is
cooked. I'm gonna show you.
This is great discourse. Let me ask you this. Let me
Darius Slay.
Oh well, hold on, time out because I got my thoughts about him. But
I don't care. I don't care. He an all-pro, right?
He's not an all-pro. But
he's not.
He was
an all-pro. I've been beating that drum for anybody who knows. I've been beating that.
Would you say?
Yeah, I'm with you. I know exactly.
Right now, if Darius Slay was available, they would say, "Go get him and put him where Jordan Lewis is." Right? They would do that, right?
They would
put him inside the slot with two-way goals.
Wouldn't we say that?
I think you know what they would do if Slay was on this team. They would move him back to the outside corner. They would slide Bland inside.
And Lewis be on the bench. He on the outside corner, right? Getting cooked.
Yeah, he gonna get cooked.
He is.
58 receptions, 58 targets, 39 receptions. He got almost 20 more receptions given up than Jaylon, right? He's given up 98 yards in one game.
What's the snap count though there?
Jaylon played 90% of the snaps, bro. That don't count.
No, I'm just saying, just context. Because I know that for a fact that Slay plays more than Jaylon.
Yeah.
When he's playing, because I know Bland played more than Jaylon too, right? But Bland ain't got these numbers. But Jaylon, but Darius Slay do. So it don't matter how much you playing. If they're targeting you and you giving up 67%. Completion rating and 450 yards so far, and they didn't even give them the Kansas City numbers yet. So this is without the Kansas City numbers from last night. They haven't got those up there yet. And 2 touchdowns, right? Jordan Lewis got 3 touchdowns, and he got the same stats but 200 less yards. Why would I be mad at a guy when I looked at what we're doing on the team and I said, well, we haven't been giving up, nothing to receivers. So how can I say you're getting cooked when it hasn't happened yet? CD Lamb is absolutely cooking secondaries. Right. So then you could say people are getting cooked, and it's a problem. If Jordan Lewis was getting targeted and he gave up 120 yards in a game, I get it. He hasn't done that one time this year.
And some of that is pass rush. And I got you. I think
that you can't. If it was a fifth, we all be drunk. Pass rush don't count. If the pass rush is what it is. If the pass rush isn't there, then we could argue about what all these guys would do without a pass rush.
Well, Akoye, to be fair, DB talk, man. What makes a DB better? The pass rush, or do the coverage of a DB make the pass rush better?
I'm not arguing that though, Law. The point is, I can't argue what didn't happen.
Right.
I can't argue. I can only argue what is happening.
What's happening? Okay, so where do you right now?
We do have a pass rush
right now.
Go ahead.
Right now, just so we can cap this.
Go ahead.
Are you concerned with Jaylon moving forward?
No.
Okay, cool.
Because Jaylon is our 4th corner. Moving forward, meaning moving forward, when you're talking about this season or moving forward beyond?
Moving forward on this run, we're trying to move. I mean, that we're trying
7 more games left.
Yeah.
Bro.
Big games.
Cowboys fans are spoiled. Look at big games then. Let's go back to big games.
No, because at the end of the day, it was just a general. I just really want to.
Why would I be concerned about a guy in big games, right? So let's see. Let's go to the big game.
I'm more concerned while you're looking that up. I'm more concerned of Dan Quinn utilizing Jaylon in the wrong way, because when he get caught up with tight ends, I could be the quarterback. I'm throwing it on Jaylon if I'm seeing the tight end and Jaylon on the same situation.
That's what we got guys like Kurtz and Wanye here for. So that's not Jaylon's fault. But here we go. Big game. San Francisco, he gave up 2 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. That's his worst. And a forced fumble that game. But that's his worst game. When you look at the Philly game, he gave up 3 receptions for 42 yards, no touchdown. 3 receptions for 42 yards. Like, is that like amazing?
It's not awful.
No,
but it's not bad. Yeah, the problem is this: the slot corner is tough to play. It's damn near impossible.
I want to show you something too. Go ahead, keep talking.
It's damn near impossible to play. I think some of the Cowboys' spoiledness is true there, Akoye, and it's just something that we got to look at. Like Law saying, I will say this: it's just kind of sucks that Izzy's been buried this year.
He buried himself though.
but maybe. But I do think that he's a player. Right. I would like to see Bland back inside. That's just me. I want to move on though. So
go ahead.
Moving unless you is there another point that you want to make, Akoye?
No, I was going to show you some film from the game, but
no. Let's look at it.
I don't have it teed up anyway. Let me see.
Okay, all right. Well, let's circle back to Jordan Lewis, because I'll be honest with you, we're gonna need all hands on deck to make this run, and I think that we can make Akoye and Law.
Right.
All right, Law. I want to ask you, because this is what the fans want to talk about, and I want to be honest. Mm-hmm. Is Philly good? Or are they falling into good situations? So here's what I'll say, and I'm gonna leave it here. And I really want you guys to. I watched a game last night where if Dak Prescott, and I know rain, right? But if Dak Prescott threw for 150 yards, an interception, a passer rating of 64, and the only reason why I know this is because I actually played Hurts on my ticket. Now, mind you, hey, cool. You know what I mean? Rain, Kansas City's defense we're actually really good. But just the fact that now what I see on film, and Akoye, I really want you to attack this part. No Goddard. The offense looks stagnant, right? You camp AJ on the outside. They did score with Devontae on the inside, but I feel like teams now have a beat on what Philly wants to do with their stuff. Mm-hmm. Are they the cheat code is the line. The cheat code is they can line up and just get downhill at times, and they were able to do that with Miles Sanders. Is Philly good, or are they just, I won't say lucky, but just circumstances just really going their way right now? Because another thing is, I've seen Cowboys teams like this with bad secondaries cruise through the regular season and lose to the Giants because we could not cover and things just didn't go our way, and we just weren't really as good as we thought we were in the regular season. Law, Akoye, are they good, or what's going on?
You want to take this first, Law? Or what?
Well, I'll jump right on in it. You know, the Philly, they figure out ways to win, and that's a good problem to have for them. And you want to come out with the dub. Keep in mind, even though we will beat up Jalen Hurts for throwing 150 yards, what if I told you that Pat Mahomes only threw for 27 yards more?
That's fair.
With double the attempts. Pat Mahomes had 43 attempts. Yeah, crazy drops, right?
It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, right? They stopped them. They didn't stop him.
They had the game in the bag. They had the game in their hands.
Yeah.
But at that moment, the person who made the less mistakes won the game, and that's what Hurts is available to do because they have defensive front. They shut down the run. You're not going to run often through A gap or B gap, so you can't run on them, though. You got to press it out to the edge. But what they do is they wait for you to make the mistake. They play their game even keel, and they tend to. They sit back and watch your tendencies, and then when you start playing into the hands of the Eagles, that's how they are able to beat you. So when I look at it like this, is the Eagle or are the Eagles a really good team? I can give them that, but both of those teams are beatable, and both of those teams, when you look at it, Dak Prescott can't play like both of those quarterbacks, and I'm saying it in a positive way because if Dak Prescott throw for 177 yards and get sacked 5 times, right, and on top of that, we would have a QBR of 42 versus the Eagles. Oh my goodness, hell and brimstone, fire, and all of that stuff be falling out of the sky. And if Dak Prescott, for damn sure, even if we win or lose, throw for 150 yards, 0 touchdown with 1 INT, people will be having pitchforks and everything. So we got to, as Dak Prescott, he got to play perfect in every situation.
One thing, and that's a great point, Law. Like
amazing. Can we get fire emojis for Law?
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
But that's when you're talking about QB play and the play on the field. I would agree. The Eagles, they know how to win dirty and so on. Blah blah blah. Yakety schmackety. But one thing we're not talking about.
You know what's coming, like
no, the refs, man.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
You can't tell me that Graham did not clearly jump off sides in that game, and then false start on the player who points at the guy who's offsides while I'm pointing. He's offsides. That is crazy to say that didn't happen. We can't say in Miami that Cedric Wilson didn't get clearly face mask on the sideline prior to a catch.
Akoye got a laundry list.
We can't say that Stephon Gilmore gave up that pass interference. That was a phantom pass interference on Stephon Gilmore.
That was bad.
Craziness. We can't say that they did not call holding on Micah Parsons being held that entire goddamn game.
Their first touchdown last night was a hold. It's a hold.
So when I see that happening over and over again, whether you're on the road or at home, it's happening over and over again. I can't call it lucky and I can't call it gritty because Philly was playing, and I ain't mean to rhyme, but they was playing shitty.
Bad.
It was shitty.
Bad, bro.
And
there's no way around it.
The only reason they got back in that game was because one, Kelsey just was uncharacteristically horrible
bad last night. Horrible.
Like somebody told him to be, but he was horrible, and I can't give him that. And then I can't give a team credit for falling to the victory. Like it's like, in boxing, you got a guy by the name of Montel Griffith, right? Who technically beat Roy Jones. He beat him. But how did he beat him? Roy Jones hit him and knocked him out, right? And got disqualified for hitting him while his knee was down. But he got the win. But you ain't win. You got the win. But you ain't win. You know how I know this? I live in Philly.
Right.
Philly fans love. When we win, they on my Twitter or on my phone talking about my win.
Right.
I ain't even thinking about them. They talking about us.
That's
all I tweeted today.
It's ridiculous. So that same team that will come to you when you win against another team, when you beat us, you know what I didn't get when they beat us? Not one fucking phone call, no tweet.
Not
why? They didn't have nothing that they could be proud of in that game. They knew they lost the game. But they got to win. Just like Montel Griffith could not go and call somebody and say, I beat Roy Jones Jr. No, you didn't. You got your ass whooped. But you got to win. But you can't call and brag about that win.
Right.
They damn sure can't brag about Valdez-Scantling dropping a bucket pass that's innocent. It wasn't fully extended. It wasn't I'm getting hit. It was the ball is in my hands for a touchdown. Game is over. He catches the ball. It's over.
And the game plan was flawed too. They attempted Watson over 10 times. And you got a stud in Travis Kelce, right? And on top of that, I want people to look up. I want Eagles fans.
Yeah,
Eagles fans to do me a huge favor, just to piggyback off of what you said, Akoye, and not kick it back over to Foots.
Yeah,
look up the root word of encroachment and read the entire definition. Because if you cross the other line, it doesn't matter what the opposing team do. Once you broke. Hey, he can get up and point. He can do YMCA because you encroached. It don't mean that you got to touch them. As long as you cross that line, you focus.
If they move while you cross the line, you're a dead man.
You're dead man.
Now, if you get back one-on-one, that's different. But he never got back. He was still in the neutral zone when he got pointed at. So you're exactly right.
Yeah.
A penalty. There is no way it should have been 3rd and 12. It should have been 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1. It should have been 3rd and 12. That is ridiculous. That was the game right there. That's the game. So in those crucial moments, the referees should not have a decision in those moments.
No, they shouldn't. And I think listening to you guys, another thing that really stood out to me was just how the non-usage of a guy like Rashee Rice, who early on in the game literally made Darius Slay fall, doesn't get any more target. His target share just went down, just disappeared. You're watching Kelsey. Kelsey also had a phantom hold. Well, that actually was a hold, but it pushed him back. Kelsey's hold. And so it's just things like that where you're just watching Kansas City. He hit Watson in the hands on the last play of the game. Still couldn't catch the football.
But he couldn't catch none.
That's the reason I don't call them good or great anyway. They're good, but they're not winning these games.
Right.
Akoye, that secondary is bad.
They lost that game.
Let me tell you something. Love Kevin Byard. He's beat. Mahomes is getting cute. He's throwing the ball, not setting his feet. His base looks bad, and he throw him open. He's beat there.
He beat badly too.
He's beat badly. The quote unquote touchdown to Devontae Smith is an underthrow. It should have been a knockdown. I mean, these things, and this is what I try to get. When you watch as much film as we do, because, you know, on Twitter, well, this is what they do, and this is what fans do. And obviously, we're all fans. The coaches are fans. The GM's a fan. We're all fans of this lovely sport in the NFL. You guys just don't like it because we don't have a filter. We say what the hell we want to say. Right. And the problem is this. I've seen teams that are playing bad football that keep saying, oh, we're not putting our best football together. No, that's not what's going to happen.
This is how you play.
This is who you are.
You haven't played our best football. This is how you play.
And I'm telling you now, you cannot win with a bad secondary. And I'm telling you now, with that type of secondary play, and you know, Akoye, you got the numbers. You have the numbers. You cannot.
I ain't gonna show you Bradbury.
Listen,
but I'm gonna say this on the flip side. Snead, he played his ass off.
Snead and McDuffie.
Snead. And he got wrongfully called for the hands to the face. That was look. I want y'all to go back and y'all let me know. Maybe I'm having wrong visions, but he never had his hands to the face, and those were drive extenders, right? Yeah. So that's all I'm gonna say on that, though. But y'all go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting because what I want Philly fans to understand, and I mean, even their organization, you better understand this. At a point, you actually have to draft correctly. So when we're able to just throw a Bland out there, that's because somebody along the line, Will McClay, the area scout, said, he fits this scheme. We know what we're looking at. You can keep reaching on these Bradbury, on Slay. These guys are getting old in the tooth. Dog, Slay looks old out there. I mean, you look at the movement of Akoye, he looks old. And so time is running out. I'm telling you now, don't be surprised. You get in the playoffs, you get in the burner, and these guys just can't cover. And you're going to have a stinker game from your offense. I remember Tony Romo, amazing offense. Love him. But then what happens is things aren't clicking in the playoffs. All right. You playing the Giants, stinker. D-line getting after it. We have the type of D-line, guys, that can take over a football game. We do. Then you actually have to throw the middle of the field. Yeah. Hey, let them cross those guards up. Let them cross Kelsey up. Kelsey looks old too. And so what happens is you know, and that happens. Now you actually have to throw the ball and actually run real concepts. The Eagles don't run any real concepts. That's another thing.
What was happening yesterday when they took AJ away.
I'm telling you.
They took the first option away, and they didn't give Hurts any lanes to really run. So they would take the first option away, and he's standing there. He's just standing there, waiting for the sack because he can't get to his first option. That's how they beat him. They said, you can try Smith. You can try anybody else you want, but you're not getting the ball to AJ. And he knew that they knew coming in that's going to be his first read because he's been spamming him all season. So when he can't spam him, not only does he have issues when it comes to chemistry with everybody else, because you're naturally going to have that issue if you've been spamming the hell out of just one guy and one guy only all year. When that gets taken away from you, the timing is going to be off with everybody else. And he's not a guy that can even read the field very well anyway. He's not a guy that sits there and goes through several progressions. He goes through his first progression.
Get from 1 to 2 to 3. Well, you're right.
He gets from his first progression, then he moves around. And he tries to, it's a scramble drill after that. And that they call that a progression. That's not a progression. That's I read my first read. I went to go take off and I threw the ball on my way out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But getting through, just standing back there and going through progressions or moving safeties with his eyes and, looking guys open, throwing guys, that's not what he does. So if you can follow that blueprint and do everything you can to take away AJ and make sure you're in a coverage where you're not leaving guys exposed for too long out there against Smith deep. I think you can limit everything the Eagles do, even if you're playing off of Smith and doubling the hell out of AJ. That's what they were doing yesterday. I got to look at the film to see everything behind the scenes, but that's what they were doing. They were like, "Look, man, he's not going to beat us at all."
Can I do you one better, Akoye?
Go ahead,
break it down.
In this law. This is the guy's honest truth. When you talk about getting from 1 to 2 to 3, you can tell when an OC is getting cute with all those design runs where they just. I'm talking about quarterback runs, where it's AJ. So in the same breath, you're telling us that Hurts' knee is bad, but in the same breath, you're designing runs, tush push, keeps, just keep it around the edge. Not Miles Sanders. Swift, just get out there and block. I'm telling you now, that stuff is going to hurt you when it matters. Turn the page to the Commanders. Law. I want you to. Is this a trap game or what's your vibe here?
Every game that we play, that's a team that's below 500 or got less wins than us will be considered a trap game. Or when we beat them, hey, that game didn't mean anything. So look, this is a game that you from the area. This is a game that we need to show up and show out on, right? Yeah. And we need to give them that L. And we need to sit back and look at it like, if we take care of business, TCB, put that in the chat, y'all. Yeah. If we take care of business, we control our own destiny. Yeah, I'm trying to get the Super Bowl to go through Dallas because we are two different teams. And keep in mind, the teams that we lost to, hear me out, y'all. The team that we lost to, the Eagles haven't played them yet. They haven't played the 49ers yet. And excuse me, they haven't played the New York Giants yet as well. And if you think about it, and a better passer of the ball, and I hope I get a little hate from the Eagles community, but we can all argue that Sam Howell ain't no one to sneeze at on a pass of the ball. And you saw what the Giants were able to do to him. So what I'm saying here is that this particular Washington team, you put the pressure on him. There's going to be a lot of throws. This should be a good opportunity for Bland to take and pick the ball off. And this should be a game that is not considered a trap game, but it's a must-win game because of where we are at in our conference.
They're all must-wins with what the Eagles have done. So, you know, in order for them to kind of fall under their own weight, you got to kick their legs out. And the only way we can do that is by winning. So, yeah, you're right about that, Law. 100%. I agree. Every game right now is a trap because we can't go and take anything for granted. It's Thanksgiving anyway. Can't take nothing for granted. Right. Hey, we got it. You know, we don't got nothing. We got to go take it. If we want it, we got to take it this season. And we're in position to do it. I like where we are, but we got to go. We got to go do it. What you said about the Giants, the Bills, they got to play the Bills. They got to play the 49ers. Those teams, like, I don't see them coming out of there unscathed. And if they do, you know,
they're not beating Dallas in Dallas. I mean, I'm gonna tell you that now. You're not gonna beat us in Dallas.
So in that gauntlet, if those teams can kind of hit the Eagles in the mouth once or twice, they can come out of there with at least one loss. You know, we can tie it up when we play them, and then we can go from there. But I don't see them coming out of this run undefeated. I don't see.
I think they're gonna split with the Giants.
There you go.
People laughing right now. Eagles fan. You know, I think
DeVito, and for everybody that said, "Oh, y'all played DeVito." DeVito, they look way better.
That Giants front is still
like
good.
137 passer rating.
Look, two different guys. So that hats go off to what this defense was doing to quarterbacks, because whenever we play a quarterback and they look like ass, they say, "Oh, that's just them." But we make teams look bad all season. We've done it, and I've said this, and I gotta jump in like 4 minutes. But I said this. You gotta get out. I said, hey, this season is the first season when you can even count the San Fran game if you want, because that's 7 games. But this season is the first season I've ever seen Dak or any quarterback not have to play in the fourth quarter for 6 games. 6 games we've had, he ain't had to play. Like
that was an amazing stat, Akoye.
Nobody is talking about that.
You smoked that.
And then you
would have more touchdowns.
More touchdowns and more yards. He'd be at 3,000 yards right now or more. And he'll have at least 5, maybe 6 more touchdowns if he had to have them. He don't need them. He's just sitting down. So you remember the year when we looked our best with DeMarco Murray going off and Tony Romo just handing the ball? This feels like that, where we don't need Dak to be Dak all game. He just need to go out there, be efficient, be a general, do what he got to do. And when he need to turn up. And in the Eagles game showed me that he can do that. We need him to do that. So I said, hey, this Dak right here is making all the decisions, the right decisions to put this team in position to win games. So, like you said, Law, destiny is in our own hands. The Eagles they playing like a wounded animal. Now they are a wounded animal. They very dangerous. A wounded animal is very dangerous, but they also very desperate. And if you stay poised and you use your mind, you can stay out of trouble against the Eagles, man. You just can't go in there and try to match, their level of angst. You know, you got to play calm and confined and then take your shots. And nobody talks about the fact that the Eagles fumbled 3 times against us. We got 0 of those fumbles. Just one in the game is over. If Micah Parsons gets the one that's between Swift's legs when he paused, but when he was down there, he grabbed him. If Micah Parsons secures that ball, we don't start off at the 20 with a minute and something left. We start off at the 11 that game is over. That game is over. Even if we don't, even without the sacks, without the false start, the sacks and all the other stuff that happened, we won the game right there.
Yeah,
that's
those
the game. Game was over.
Yeah,
game was over. So Eagles fans really know that. They know that. That's why they're watching, because they're desperate too. They watch everything we do this season.
They watch
y'all the ones that's 9-1. We not 9-1. Y'all 9-1. Why are you watching us?
They on this live stream. They on our Twitters. They can't help it.
When somebody's scared, bro. Yeah. Like when somebody's scared, like, why are you flinching? Why are you flinching? Why are you looking? Why are you watching my hands? Why are you watching everything I'm doing? Because you know it's coming. You know what I mean? So that's where they at. They whole energy is that right now. And they can't brag. They couldn't brag yesterday. All they put up yesterday, all they doing in Philly right now, they just putting up 9-1. But they ain't saying, they know they ain't whooping no ass. They ain't whooping that. Last year they had the belt on. They like, hey man, we whooping that.
We're resilient. We find a way. Jaylon won these games. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Man, that ball keep bouncing back into his hands, right? Y'all saw that fumble last night. I said, man.
Hey, real quick, can we get fire emojis for Akoye Media, man? Wow. Just me and Law gonna stay on a little bit longer. And Akoye, we need to do this, man. I think we might got to do it again. We got 500 people.
Whenever you say go, it's go, bro. I'm with it. So
Law Nation with the production. Thank you, Akoye, for jumping on.
Peace. I'm out. I got a meeting to go to, but
love it,
man. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, love you too, bro. Much love.
Peace. Love to you, bro.
You too, man. Peace.
Yep. Hey, so Law, because I know you've been working all day, so I just want to, get a few more answers out of you, man. Law, by the way, let me get actually fire emojis for Law Nation in the building, man. We're very entertained, Law. We're very entertained. Law, we're very entertained. Law.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of discourse around Tony Pollard. Now, I went back and watched the film. How do you feel about Pollard? To me, I see Pollard kind of turning a page. I think he's, they say from that knee, man, it takes about half a year to really get back. I feel like he ran a lot harder this game. And it was a lot more physical, especially on the touchdown run. How do you feel?
He showed a similar play like that last week. Yeah, and running in between the splits, and they called it back for some type of hold or something. Yeah. He's a determined runner. Yeah. I see that out of him, but collectively, I just don't see him as a bell cow runner.
Bell cow, yeah.
Yeah. I think that you get more out of Pollard as a split back. And he had to step in tall in this past game due to the fact that, Rico was hurt all practice, and he came in there and he played with a bum ankle. So I look at Tony Pollard, give me that hungry guy. I think that he's been listening to what people been saying. And he's like, well, I'm gonna prove I can run in between A gap and B gap.
He hears the noise. Yeah.
Right. He hear the noise. And what I'm saying though is that I'm thinking it's a little change of the philosophy. So we doing inside zone runs. That play that he ran the 21-yard runs on, I said Tony Elliott, because that's who he looked like on that play, running, lowering his shoulders and getting inside and utilizing those two safeties that playing deep. They show one way, then his cutback was inside. So I'm thinking that Tony is in his element. Hopefully we will see what he do against a more physical team down the stretch, though.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. We don't get any breaks when it comes to these D lines. I feel like every week we look up and you playing Josh Allen. This week we're playing freaking obviously the ends are gone, Sweat and Chase, but you got Allen and you got Deron Payne, two guys, right? Yeah. But I think that team, and I'll do a quick recap on them right before we get off. But I think that team will actually allow you to run the ball some and pass the ball. It should be a 300 burger from Dak Prescott for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be more of a passing game opposed to what we did last week. Hey, shout out to Derrick Brown, man. He's a monster on the front. Shoot,
that Joker can play some football. Let me get to this super chat real quick, Law. Hey, shout out to 500 people in here, man. Y'all see what that beautiful face of Law Nation do? We bring the folks home, man.
Let's get in here.
The average Cowboys fan can't name one NFC East content creator, but all of them can name several of ours. Low-key fan. Hey, that's a good one. The wordologist. I like what listen, let me tell you something. They don't realize wordologists. This is facts, right? So every time they retweet us and argue, I mean, these guys, these Philly fans arguing my mentions, I just mute the tweet. They don't understand. You're literally bringing me and Law work. Thank you. Like, I have an opinion. Foots don't know what he's talking about. Law's a homer. Please. Please. This is how we feed our families. We love y'all. Thank you, because we really do the work. If you've been with us, me and Law done been at drafts and we done did this stuff. We not new to this, and we're thankful
to this. You know
what's crazy? Law is right. Now Law does the Super Friends. Law is a hardworking dude, but I can't name a bunch of content creators who got the platforms we got, dog. No. It's levels, dog. and you know what? We're thankful.
We're thankful, man. And the words of Big Nate.
Nobody
does it what? Does it what, Law? Does it how?
Yeah.
Does it better?
Oh, what we tell them, Foots?
They can come closer than close.
Come on.
Yeah. Original.
Original, they never will be.
They'll never will be, man. Come on with it, man. Come on
Mason,
with it.
Mason. Hey, so all right, bringing things back, right? I'm gonna leave with two hot topics because I think people want to hear these. Jaylon Tolbert, we call for you. You play like that, and so now, does this open the door for Martavis Bryant? Now, here's what I want to say.
Go ahead.
I watched Kansas City last night struggle because they didn't have a guy on the outside.
Right.
Dallas does have a guy. CeeDee Lamb's a guy. Number 2 in receiving yards. He's going to finish top 5 in receiving, I believe. Especially you look at the secondaries you play. So you got a guy, right? But this is why I'm constantly looking at receivers in the draft. You look at the success that Joe Burrow has had with 2 guys, right? A real 1, a real 2.
Right.
We have gotten Cooks going, yes.
We did, yeah.
But is Cooks in the long-term future? No.
Nope.
We know that, right? Cooks he's been okay, he's been nice, but he's not in the long-term future. Gallup is taking a step back.
True.
And you're waiting for Tolbert to take the reins, and it's like, come on. And so does this now, and this is why I've said, like, hey, Dallas could very much draft a receiver. First 2 rounds, you get O-line, receiver, linebacker. You guys know how much I care, and this is a loaded receiver class. Vibe.
I want that linebacker you sent me for the
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky linebacker. I want that dude.
But now, hey, Vox, but now we got Bell, Overshawn coming back.
Yeah,
Clark playing better. I thought it was a need. Maybe it's not. But now I'm looking at receiver like that's a need. Vox, excuse me, Law. How do you? What's going on with our receiver room, and do we give Martavis Bryant a look?
At this point, when you bring in talent, either it's going to destroy your confidence or it's going to be able to make you mad enough to say, you know what, you wasting time bringing him in because this is going to elevate my game. And I thought that happened when we played against the Giants, right? All of our wide receivers that primarily showed up and showed out, and then we saw a D scale of our wide receivers. I do look at it just the way you look at it. CeeDee Lamb, dog, right? And then it should be Brandon Cooks, and then it should be Gallup or whoever. But my guy Tolbert, he's dropping the ball, whether it be he running the wrong routes or he's dropping the ball literally, right? And Jalen Brooks, when his number is called, he catching them. 83 is catching them, or he's causing the flag and he keep moving the chains, right? So I'm looking at it like, yeah, man, at this point, we got 7 more games. You made all of this news about bringing in a guy who have 17, who had 1,000 yards in his career before in 1 year, who have a total of 17 touchdowns, who is a 6'3.5" guy who runs a 4.40.
Big dude, man.
Big guy that can be a red zone target for you, right? Yeah. That can stretch the middle of the field. So he could be a guy that they elevate. But right now, my wide receivers of choice right now is, of course, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and I got another guy that I want to insert as the third option. His name is Kevontae Turpin.
Okay. Talk about
I
it.
like
Talk
Turpin,
about
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
Hey man, he's a guy that's sneaky good. That can run those routes, those end breaking routes. He can get to the outside, end around. He can do it all. He will put the fear of God in most of these guys if they just continue to move him on stretch routes and non-routes and things like that. I'm looking at him as my third wide receiver at this point.
Yeah, no. Woo. You know, with Turpin, you know, even that end around he caught.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, you feel his speed. The speed is real, right, Law? So you're not wrong there. I think what Mike is doing play caller wise is using him in spots. But you're not wrong. I would be hard pressed to know just how much of the playbook he knows, as far as how much of the slot do you know, how much of the X, how much of the Z does he know? Because that has to be the only reason why he's really not on the field as much as he should be. Because the speed and playmaking ability, it's unreal. The guy's floating out there. So, you know, we'll see. We'll learn in this offseason what they do, if they'll give him more of a role. But I do think that you have to. And I mean, look what Philly did. Dog, they drafted Devontae Smith higher than CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. And they went out and paid A.J. Brown because they know, like, first of all, Hurts, we just talked about his struggles. He's playing okay right now, but you better have two guys who can win. Because, I mean, you take away one of those guys on the offense, it's done. Dead. It's done.
Stick a fork in it. Yeah.
You stick a fork in it. And so the good thing about Dallas is everything that we brought in is homegrown. Now, I'm going to tell you who I am high on before I get to my next kind of deals. I'm actually getting really high on Luke Schoonmaker. For whatever reason, Law, Dak, trust him. He likes the guy.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You know, and they've been working on that seam route for forever, right?
He
finally caught it. but here's my thing is with this in this particular offense, the tight end will always be the quarterback's best friend, especially in what Mike McCarthy is trying to do. So if you're going to roll coverage to CeeDee Lamb's way, and then you're going to garner attention to Brandon Cooks on a clear out, it's going to force a linebacker or a safety to be one-on-one with Schoonmaker, and that's going to stretch the field for you, right? When you think that he's going to be the underneath guy, when you're going 12 personnel and you got Ferguson doing what he's doing. So I do like that interchangeable capability. It just took forever for Schoonmaker to get there, but I'm just still going to pump the brakes because just like, you know, Pat Mahomes tried to make Justin Watson a guy, you know, last night, 11 targets. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get those inefficiencies and those inconsistencies. And I don't want that. Maybe it's a political thing. If y'all look up where Justin Watson went to school at, you would say, you start putting your thinking cap on. And they made it just that, you know, they wanted to make him a hero of the state because he went to Pennsylvania, by the way, for those who don't know, Justin Watson for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't want this to become a political thing.
Yeah.
Let Schoonmaker be that dude next year. Let's get Ferguson going, and let's go get CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Cavante Turpin, those type of guys going for us.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. I mean, I will say this though. I think that Schoon as a blocker, he gonna have a long career in this league because if nothing else, you see it on film. Law, he's extremely physical. He don't care who it is. You can watch after the play. He'll stick his nose in there. You ask him to go dig out a DN, he'll do it. And I just really like the guy. Law, I want to end with this. I went and watched the Giants game.
Right.
Okay. I'm looking at the Redskins. I knew I was going to do it at some point.
Wow.
I knew. I was watching the Commodores film. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they put in two Hill at end. Obviously, you got the two pluggers, Payne and Allen. But Law, this secondary bad, dog. Hey, Law.
Yeah.
This secondary bad. Do you expect? Who do you expect receiving wise to have a big game? And I'll let you go.
I think that the game plan, and we'll check more on CeeDee Lamb as far as his ankle, right? Whether or not it's okay. but I think that he wasn't in this past game plan. They limited him. They targeted actually Michael Gallup more, and then it just ended up when we got kind of, heated a little bit. Then we gave a little bit more targets to Gallup, right? To CeeDee Lamb.
To 88, yeah.
The 88. So what I'm seeing in this game is a home game. Yeah. It's a game that Lamb, hey, he's him. I think that this game will be a good game for him. Yeah. I look at it like this will also be another good game for Ferguson, because those are two guys that we didn't attempt to target as much. And it should be a good game for my guy, Tony Pollard, to bounce it to the outside. The last time we played the doggone Washington team, I think they limited us with only 1.5 or close to 2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
I think outside runs will be needed. Terrence still played outstanding, Law. So I think some of those pin pull schemes, reach block, let Terrence get on the move, get going.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're a better team than Washington. I get the whole narrative, trap game. The only trap game we had was Arizona. You didn't know that team. You know this team. Howell's been a fun story, but the pressure, and you look at that line, and then you look at Forbes, he's been benched. They brought him back. You look at those corners, it just isn't a good matchup for them. You get up on them early, and Dak might be sitting for another fourth quarter. All eyes will be watching. I think the Cowboys handle. I think there's nobody else handles this run. Meaning playing on Thursday and then playing again better than Mike. He does a good job with it. Yeah,
and this is something that we're gonna have the rest of our lifetime, man. Playing on Thursday, and I still recommend people, because it's Cowboys, man. Yeah. Just eat your food before the game. Eat before when you watch the game. And then after the game, then you can celebrate. But hopefully, like you said, that Dak Prescott and company will be eating a turkey sandwich in the third quarter or at the end of the third quarter, because we will see Cooper Rush in the fourth quarter and beyond. Let's go, man.
I completely agree. Man, Law Nation, thank you so much, man. This was a banger, dog. A Thanksgiving Day treat for the people, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. It's always fun talking to you, Foots, man. You're a good guy, and you're great for the community. Notice I ain't say good, but you're great for the community, bro. And continue to do your thing, man.
I'm gonna tell you this. I know you working, but we got to do this more. Just having that discourse. I actually like to just quarterback sometime and just sit back and let you guys talk. Cause these guys, you talk about spoiled. Dog. Hey, family, nation. When you got guys like Akoye and Law who bang the film, Voch who bangs the film, I just come on and give my predictions. Sky. Dog, you don't have to turn on ESPN. I don't. I listen to these guys.
It's mandatory, man. It's mandatory to hear Sky in the morning time. And you feel kind of bad, man, when Voch don't go live in the midday. You be like, hey, what's going on? You said don't miss no shows, man. Where y'all at? And then we got the other guys like Boss Cowboys Sports and as well as Big Game James, the Flow. Man, we got the Jay Tuck, man, the list go. My Cowboys family, Mark Holmes and beyond. Look, there should never be a dull moment in the Cowboys community. Even got beat reporters, Mike Fisher doing stuff. So we got a whole bunch of people, Foots, that do this
Cowboys
type of
fan talk. Yeah, man.
Yeah, ooh-wee. So and then you got Tom Downey,
Downey's cool, man.
Yeah. Cowboys Chat Sports. So we got. It's a labor of like love over here, because you can't sit back and don't do anything, because you'll be drowned out, when you try to get back on and do stuff. So it's and Shango. See how I left out Shango, the Godfather, OG Shango. So this is a great community that we are part of, and every year there's a new content creator to come out swinging. And I'm going to mention his name on your show. His name is Dak Attack. Look him up, Foots.
Okay. Dak Attack.
Dak Attack show, he's going to be the rookie of the year for the 2023 season.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. If it wasn't, I'll be honest with you, I was watching Law in the car. If it wasn't for him is extending his love and the dude was, the first time we worked, it was like, man, just like, and he was somebody I was like, dog, this is my guy. But to anybody who who is out there and just wants to start something, man, just do it.
Mhm.
Just
Yep.
do it.
Do
And
it.
one thing, if it's one piece of advice, it's anything. One piece of advice, you gotta keep going. So
Yeah.
you gotta struggle, go through the BS, go through the bad streams, go through having bad stats. I done got pulled up. People use my screenshots. Understand when you jump in this world, people gonna use everything you say against you, and it's okay. You got to be willing to stand on it because people are buying into who you are. They don't really care about you make a mistake. It's okay. They care about who Vacha is, who Law is, who I am. So I'm about to go check out, chat box is going crazy. They said Dak Attack is nice. So shout out to you, Dak Attack. We a family, bro. And I'm gonna say this now.
Landlord. I forgot about my guy Landlord from Alabama. JC Network.
He's the homie. I'm gonna say this though.
Yeah, we got a lot of people, man.
If you follow Foots on Twitter, and I'm about to put my Twitter, let me tell you something. I'm not giving no Eagles no respect for nothing. So my energy don't change. It ain't they do. No. I'm always find a way because at the end of the day, we gonna pop them suckers.
Yeah, let's go.
We gonna pop them suckers.
Let's go, man. Where my guy, Mike Paulson? Where you at, man? Where you at, Mike Paulson?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
hey, we gone, man. Much love to y'all. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see y'all. Oh, Law, can you give me and remember?
Remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
You can only get that, man.
Law Nation Sports.
Much love, y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Oh man, Law.